Hey guys, this is RyGuyGaming here today, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a batch script to back up your files to another directory. So what I mean is you can see here on my D drive on my root, which is just my hard drive. I have an SSD with my OS and a hard drive with all my other stuff. But you can see here I have a test folder, and inside I have a test text document which has nothing, and inside there I have a folder called test with a test bitmap. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to take this and mirror it, and we're going to be creating a folder right under it called test2. Now this will work. You can mirror your folder to other folders, so if I wanted to put it like in program files or in my Ryan folder, or I could put it wherever I wanted, or you can go across drives, which is what I do. I move everything in my Ryan folder across from my D drive to my F drive, which is my external hard drive. So this is my script right here that I normally use, and as you can see, this is what it will look like. It runs in the command prompt, and so it says, do you want to back up? I hit no because I don't want to back up right now, and it will say canceling backup, and then it will say press any key to continue, and it will exit for me. Now I'm going to be teaching, and if I were to say yes at that prompt, obviously it would have backed up all my crap, which I don't want to do right now because my external drive isn't even connected. So first things first, just in case you want to kind of mess around with this and try out some of the commands we're going to be doing, to access your command prompt, there's a couple things you can do. If you push, I believe it is Windows key X, it will pop up this context menu, or you can right click your start button and go to command prompt. You don't have to be an admin unless you're trying to move stuff around on the C root, which I don't recommend. And you can click on command prompt, or you can hold down your Windows key and push R and type in CMD and hit OK, and it will pop up one of these. And so today, like I said, this script is really simple. So go ahead, and what you're actually going to want to do is go to your desktop and create a new text document by right-clicking, going to new, and clicking text document. Or you can use start menu to open Notepad and do it that way. But I'm going to call this, I guess, just YouTube backup .text, and then so go ahead and hop into it, and as you can see, it's blank. I have my font size really big so you guys can see. So the first thing I like to do is use the title command, which just sets the title of the command prompt. So as you can see right now, the title is just this, but you can actually change this to whatever you want. It just looks nice, and it's nice to know what you're like doing, you know. And the second line I like to do is called, we're going to type @echo off, and what this does is it turns off the prompt for every line you enter. So as you can see here, now I don't have the you know, C ... whatever whenever I type in a command. And then when I type @echo on, it turns it back on. Now I like to turn echo off in my scripts because I think it looks nicer, but it does hamper debugging. If you're running into troubles, delete this line so that you're able to see any error messages you might get, if there are any. That's the one bad thing about batch files, is that they terminate immediately, pretty much, if you have a syntax error. But if there is an error that it can give a error message for, it will. So just be sure to be aware of that. So if you're having troubles, try to delete this first, and if you still don't see anything, check your syntax. The next thing we're going to do is get input from the user, and this is actually kind of similar to Python if you've ever used that programming language. Batch is really simple. I would say it's in some cases even simpler than Python. It's probably not easier to understand for noobs, but it's easier to type. I feel like it's a lot quicker. So what we're going to be doing is getting some input. So to get input, you say set, which is a command that basically creates a new variable. So if I said like set c equals to 3, c would now be 3, but we don't want to just create a variable. We want to create a variable with input from the user. So to do that, you do set /p, which will get you the P means prompt the user. That's what I'm trying to say. So you do set /p, which means prompt your variable name. I like to use C for choice, but I could call it choice. I could say X, I could say Y, but I like to use C. It's up to you. And I will say, are you sure you want to back up? I'll say backup is one word. And then I will say yes /no. And then I will put in an extra space just so there's a space between where the user enters their answer and the end of my prompt. Now you don't have to do this. You technically could just have a really simple script that you just double click on and it immediately starts to back up. But personally, I don't like that, just in case I were to accidentally click on my script or anything and I like don't have my external drive connected, or I don't want to sit through a backup at the moment, because I mean the method we're going to use is fast. It's probably about as fast or maybe even a little faster than copy paste, but it's still, you know, you don't want to always just sit through a backup if you accidentally click on your backup script. So that's why I always put this "are you sure" check. So the next thing we're going to have to do is validate the user input. So we're going to see if they put Y or N. And to do that, you actually have to push /I, because of course users can either type Y or Y, like big or little y. So /I will make it so that it doesn't matter whether or not they type big Y or little y or big N or little n. So you type if /I quotation mark %, which I can never find, C %, quotation mark, equals quotation mark, Y quotation mark, open parenthesis, not curly bracket, that's a parenthesis. I know my font, they look the same, but that's a parenthesis like on your, I think it's your 9 key. So make sure it's a parenthesis. I had some problems with that when I wrote my own backup script. So one more thing, batch, I believe for the commands at least, like set and if, is not case sensitive. So you can type if capital or lowercase. It just seems to be that like commands like these are usually typed in uppercase. I don't know why, it just seems to be the convention, but it's totally up to you. I just wanted to let you know about that. But we're actually not going to do the if right now, the Y right now. We're gonna save that for later. Instead, we're going to do the else, which is if they say no, or technically anything but yes, but you know, hopefully they'll just say no. But this will actually happen if they say anything but yes. So we're gonna use open and close parentheses for this block, and in here we're going to use echo, and what echo does is it just prints stuff to the screen. So we'll say echo and we'll say backup canceled. Oh my gosh, I can't type. And then we will say pause, and then we will say exit, and I will go through each of these lines. So like I said, echo just prints to the screen. You probably saw me do it earlier. So like echo hi prints hi. Echo period will print a blank line, and yeah, that's how echo works. Pause will do the press any key to continue thing that I'm sure you've seen before, and exit is obvious, it exits your program. Now if you choose to run your file from your compute from your command line. So if I wanted to run it this way, so if I say cd desktop and then I run it from here, like I say YouTube backup.bat or whatever, then I might not want to put exit because I might want to keep this window open when it's done, but that's not always necessary, and a lot of people don't know how to use this anyways, so you probably just want to close out of it. Let me get back to the cd, there we go. Oh yeah, that's another command I forgot. So if you want, you can also at the top type CLS, which just means clear screen, so that your script will be the only thing on the screen, which you don't have to do again, but it's just nice. So now we can go ahead and do the yes. So the command we are going to be using, or the program I guess, is called RoboCopy. I don't know why it's called that. There are two ways to back up in Windows. It's built into every Windows, so this will work on every version of Windows as far as I'm aware, even far back as like Windows 95. And the other one is Xcopy, but Xcopy is just a little, it works the same, but I hear it's a little slower. And RoboCopy, we only have to use one switch, which is nice. So we're gonna go with RoboCopy. So test 1, and then we'll say D. I'm gonna explain this when I finish typing it. Test 2, and then we'll say /mir. So this is seriously all you have to type to get your backup to work. If you just want a backup script, that line is really all you have to type. And to find file paths, if you don't know about this, go ahead and go into the folder you want to copy, click up here and copy this. If you choose to type in your file paths, just know that you do have to use backslashes and not forward slashes. Backslash on a full size like 100% keyboard in the American layout is the key above the enter key. And so you have to put your file path in quotes as well. And so this one is your source file, or folder, sorry, excuse me, and this one is your destination folder. Now your destination folder does not have to exist. As you can see, I don't have a test2, but that's where I want to put it. It will create it for you. And then the last part here is /mir, or mirror. And I will explain this more in a minute, but essentially for now, just know that it means copy the contents of test 1 and put it in the test 2. So let's go ahead and save this. You have to save it every time, because if you try to run it from the desktop without saving, it will just run the last saved version of it. So make sure you save before you run. And then go ahead and edit the name of it and replace .txt with .bat. If you cannot see the file extension, there are a few things you can do. I believe if you look at the properties, you'll be able to rename the file type, or you can go into the Explorer and go to File and go to Change Folder and Search Options, and then go to View and go to Show, where is it? Here it is. It says Hide Extensions for Known File Types. Go ahead and uncheck that box, hit Apply, hit OK, and then you should be able to see the extensions and be able to rename them. So now that your script is a .bat, you can just double click on it and run it like any other program. And now you see it looks like mine. You can say, are you sure you want to back up? You can say no, and it will say backup cancel. Then you can press any key to exit, or you can go ahead and say yes, and it will back up. But I forgot to put in a pause after our RoboCopy, which I do want to do so I can show you what's up with RoboCopy. So let me fix that really quick, and we'll run it again because it doesn't matter if I run it twice. So when you run RoboCopy, each time you get this really nice like heads up kind of deal going on here that lets you know what happened. So as you can see, you know, it tells you the total, how many were copied, how many were, obviously this time they were skipped because because we already did it. But last time the copies would have said 2 and not skipped. So these are directories, these are files, and it tells you if there were any fails, it tells you if there were any extras, it tells you how long it took. Obviously it took 0 seconds because I don't have like anything with any size in there. It even tells you the time that it ended, which is really cool. Your starting and stop. Oh, it even tells you the subdirectories. I didn't even know that. That's really cool. So now if I go ahead and hop into my file browser though, you can see that now there's a test2 folder that looks exactly the same. Now, let's say that I'm on like my main computer and I decide to go into my test1. I'm like, you know what? I don't need test.txt no more. So I delete it. And now I say, oh, it's been about a week or whatever, however often you back up. I should go back up again. So I click on my script and now I don't highlight all the text, but instead I say yes, and then I hit enter. Now you will see that it went through, and you can see here that in files I have something called an extra. And now when I close this and I go ahead and hop on over to my folder, my test2 folder, which is my backup, you'll see that the test.txt document is gone from here too. And that's the nice thing about Mirror, is that, why do I have 2 of these open? That's the nice thing about Mirror, is that it will also record anytime you delete a document. So it doesn't just copy everything over and replace things that already exist. It also purges things that don't exist. So if you like do a huge hard drive cleanup on your main drive and then you back up to an external, that purge or whatever you did will also be backed up. So obviously, to back up to an external drive, you would just change the letter. But that is pretty much it for batch scripts. They're really simple. The syntax is easy. If you need any help, there's tons of help for them on the internet, whether it's a Microsoft website or Stack Exchange or Stack Overflow. I don't know. There's like a billion websites for it. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please be sure to let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you're going to use this script for, whether you're backing up to like an external drive or maybe a cloud storage, or I guess you could use this as cloud storage. With cloud storage, I don't know how OneDrive works. I've never messed with it. I'm not a cloud storage kind of guy. I like physical storage. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you all have a great day today. As you probably saw in the RoboCopy, it's like 9 or 10 a.m. for me. So I hope you all have a great day today. It's bright and early, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.